So for Python downloads, what we need to do is go to your favorite browser and look for Python downloads. Now over here, according to your, this is the first link that you get, python.org, official website to get the Python from. Just go over it, which is the latest version of Python going on, that is going to be displayed over here at the top on the button like this. Fine. Now it's available in different variants. This is the latest version, so it might not be that stable that you can work with it immediate. So for the time, you can just go to the older versions as well and just get the recent version. Now as you said that you are using Mac and you have 2.7, so over here for Mac also you get the options of stable releases over here, like Python 3.9.0 is also over here. So you just need to go and get this installer. Once you click on this installer, an this kind of file you will be getting. It's for some another extension. I don't know which extension it comes out to be, but this extension comes up and it's also going to be an executable file for sure. And you just need to install it the way the normal installation goes on. Fine. Just what you need to be careful about is this checkbox, because even if you're using any of the operating system, you need to add that particular thing which you are going to use into the environment variables of that OS, right? So for this Python also you need to check this checkbox so that automatically your updated Python, whichever version it has, gets added into the environment variable itself. Fine. Once it is done, you can go to your command prompt just to verify that whether you have got Python installed into your system or not. Which command you need to give? Python. If you get these three angular arrows, that means your Python has been successfully installed and you can start coding with Python. Fine. Now it's not compulsory to write it over anything over here. Just let this be. Just to check the installation, we have done this. Also to check where your Python has been installed in case of customized installation path, then you can just go on and give the command where Python and it will give you the path where actually it has been installed. And this way you will get the path of those files. After this, you come up with the place where you are going to write the code, and that is the IDE where you are going to actually code. Now there are two IDEs which you can use. First one, the famous one to work with Python, is PyCharm. It comes in two variants, paid, which is a paid or professional one. You can call it professional as well. And the second variant is free or community version. You can get any of these. From where you have to get it, just go over to your favorite browser and look for download PyCharm onto the browser. The very first link that you will get is jetbrains.com. Just click over that and it will take you to the page like this. This is the home page. Having informed that download PyCharm option is over here for different OSs like Windows, Mac, Linux. According to your operating system, you can go over here and choose whichever version you want to use. For professional versions, along with the Python support, you get support of additional things like HTML, SQL support, JS Quit, JS support. Like that, you get that. Fine. If you'll download it, you will get a trial for some days and then you have to pay some amount to get it into your system and keep on using it. Fine. In any case, you don't want the additional support, you just want to work with Python into PyCharm, so you can simply go for the community version over here, click on download, and an executable file is going to come up with you. Fine. Now since I already have it into my system, so I'm not going to download it again, but once you'll click on it, you will get an executable file. And very well know that executable files are very easy to install. Just what it's going to ask you while installation, that what is your default workspace, that you need to inform that where you actually want your code to be saved. That is totally up to you, that where you want to store it. Fine. And once it is done, once you have given the default workspace after installation, this is the icon that you will get on the screen. And I'm not, this is an existing project, kindly ignore this. You will get a screen like this when you will open up for a new project. You'll get three options: to open an existing project, to of details, and to create a new project. You are going to get this window for creating a new project. Now over here, if I give the name of my project, let's say I'll give the name as this. Fine. Now over here you can see that in the base interpreter, which interpreter I'm going to use. If I'm using Python language, the Python is going to come up over here. If I'm using Java, and if Java is already into the system variables, it's going to come up automatically over here. I don't have to give it any time. So it will come up over here. For existing interpreter you can also use, but that I'm not going to use. New environment is going to be used, and that's it. You will click on create, and a brand new project is going to open up. Blank project is going to open up. So this will take around 5 to 10 seconds to create the virtual environment and set up everything for you to work with. In PyCharm, there are a number of things that you will find. First thing that you will find over here in PyCharm is that your code is going to be syntactically correct. Syntactically, it's going to be absolutely correct, because when we are writing the code, we give the names, we use the conventions, right? The naming conventions we use. So Python is very strict about those. It keeps on giving you warnings for the names that you are giving. If they are not according to the naming conventions, it's going to give you an warning for that. Along with that, if I talk about the spaces, so when we create some functions or something like that, there are few certain amount of spaces that I need to give. So that is also going to be careful in PyCharm. It's going to give you a warning if the required spaces are not given, or if more spaces are given. Then also it's going to give you a warning. Along with that, for every project, every code you are going to run, there is going to be a different configuration being created. So there will be no mix in the output. A different configuration will be made. I'll just will show you how I'm talking about the different configurations. I'll just will show you. My project is ready over here. This is the main module. You can just close it, let this go, and this is what you get, the project name over here. Inside this project name, you can create a Python file, a Python package, simple files, directories, whatever you want, you can create that. Fine. Now don't get confused if I say Python modules. Python modules are nothing but the Python files itself. It's just another name that you can use. So what I'm going to do is, for the time, I'm just going to create a package first, and I'll name it as day1. Inside this day1, I'm going to create different Python files. Let's say my first file is first code for, or let's say first code. A very simple code. I'm just going to give a print statement over here. Now assuming that you are aware about Python basic syntax, I'm going to start with. So I'll just will have print, and inside this I'll give any statement. Let's say my first code in PyCharm. Fine. Now if I have to run this, I have to create the configuration for this so that I can run this. So there are a number of options by which you can run it. You can right click on this working space over here and click on this run first mode. Also, if you want to run it from here, from the package explorer, where all the packages, modules are going to be displayed, here also just click on the file name whichever you want to run and choose the option run, and along with the file name it's going to come up. Once you click on run option, a configuration automatically is going to be created. You need not to go and explicitly create a configuration. Just by clicking on it, the configuration will be made over here. You can see the name of the file that I have given, the same name of the configuration is going to be over here, that is first code. You can also run the code from here, from this button also. If the configuration is made, you can run it from here. Same way, if I create one more module, for this module there will be another configuration made. I'll say print second code, and if I have to run this, then again I have number of options, but I have to create the configuration. So I'll click on the workspace over here, right click, and I'll click on run code, run second code, and now this time I have two different configurations. Whichever I will be running, that code output is going to come. So this is something that needs to be little careful about in PyCharm. Okay, now this is just for the sake for the starting of PyCharm, that how actually it goes on. There is another IDE also that people use to work with PyCharm, and that is none other than the famous one, Eclipse. Now Eclipse is very famous to work with Java. Usually Java persons who work with the Java language, they prefer working with the Eclipse. But if you want to work with Eclipse in Python language, you can definitely do it. There is no harm in doing that. Just you need to have some things to be done first. What are those things? Firstly, you need to have Eclipse into your system. So for that, just go to your favorite browser, whichever you prefer, and look for download Eclipse. Fine. Now over here you will get the first link, eclipse.org, the official website. Click on this link and the home page of Eclipse.org is going to open like this. Okay. Now it's like Eclipse is available in different packages. You can get it for any of the language you want. Like if I show you, there are list of packages that I have. Like over here it's for Java developers, this is for enterprise Java developers. If you are working with the website and you are creating some website at all, then you work with the enterprise Java edition, C++, PHP developers, web and JavaScript, and all. A list is here. If you'll click on any of these, any of the package that you choose according to your operating system and configuration, you will get a single thing, that is the Eclipse installer. All these packages that you can see over here, they all are going to come in the installer as well. You can choose from there whichever you want. Preferably we work with the enterprise Java developers, because this is the stable one which is till now. So if you want to work with Eclipse, you can go for this one. In the installer you can get, but if I'll show you in installer, over here in my system I have it in my downloads. Okay, let me see. Yeah, over here I have this installer. Whenever you will go to open this installer, it will give you the package. You will choose the package, but while installing it will ask you to have the JVM into your machine, that is a Java virtual machine. Why so? Because Eclipse is basically made to work with Java only. So that is the must thing that you need to have into your system. So first, before installing Eclipse, you need to make sure that Java is into your system. The stablest version of Java that you will get is Java JDK 8. You can just go to your browser and look for JDK 8 download. JDK 8 download, and it will give you the required thing that you want. Like first, oracle.com is the official website from where you can get Java into your system. And over here, according to your system configurations, you have the executable files over here. Like for Windows 32-bit and 64-bit, you have it over here. Just click on this, but it will take you to the login page of Oracle. You need to have an account over there. If you don't have it, you can create one account. It's absolutely free. You can log in for free and get this JDK into your system. Once JDK is into your system, then you can go on and over here This will be the screen where it's going to ask you for the JVM. Once it's in the system, then automatically it's going to be available in the environment variables. You don't have to give this path yourself. It's going to be picked up automatically from the environment variables. But do make sure that you install Eclipse only after JVM is into your system. Otherwise, afterwards it may create an issue and you may have to reinstall Eclipse. Fine. So this is what you need to do. Once it's done, just click on install and it will take around 3 to 4 minutes to get the Eclipse installed into your system and you are ready to go. The same way PyCharm asked you the default workspace where you want to keep your code ready. The same way Eclipse also asks you for the same. I have it installed into my system. This is the welcome screen. Was the latest version that I had, and this is the kind of screen you will get to ask you which is the default workspace you want to work with. So I have this and I can launch. Even if you want to choose it, go to browse and choose whichever location you want. Launch it, and then after, the Eclipse is going to launch. Now Eclipse is into my system, but right now it's not ready to work with Python. I still have to make it ready to work with Python. So for that, what I need to do is, I'll just will tell you. Let it start and then I'll show you. Okay, there are a few projects over here, so might be I already have it ready, but still I'll show you. If I'll go to new over here, I don't get any option for the Python project to be created in this file. If I'll go to others, I may get a folder like this. I get this folder pydev over here because I have already done that setting which I need to do. Fine, I'll tell you which setting you need to do. By default, when you install Eclipse, you won't get this folder. The pydev folder you won't get. So what you need to do is go to the help option over here, and over here install new software. Inside this particular search bar, you just need to have to give a link which is actually a plugin and will contain all the information that is required to work with Python. So that is basically this one, https www.pydev.org/updates. This is the link that you need to give. So once you will enter this link, you will get these details that these are the packages which are going to be installed into your Eclipse after you click on next. So you'll click on next. It will start collecting all the requirements and dependencies required to get this plugin in. It will take around a minute or two. Like it's just going on. I'll just wait. It's taking quite a long, but usually it's quite quick to collect the requirements and dependencies. But this is what you need to do is, after this collected all the requirements and dependencies, this will this will be the information that you get. You just need to click on next, accept the terms and conditions, and finish. Fine, then it will start installing the software over here. At the left right bottom you will see the process going on. Mid between the installation, it's going to give an prompt on the screen telling you that it's not a trusted plugin, it's not by default in Eclipse. Do you really want to get it installed or not? If you want to work with Python in Eclipse, just click on the install anyway and the software will be installed. To apply the changes, you just need to relaunch your Eclipse and your Eclipse will be ready to work with Python as well. Fine. Now it's just taking some time, like 1931. It's going to be quick, like, so I'll just will let this complete. It's taking a lot of time, but I won't be wasting much time on it. My Eclipse is already ready to work with Python, so I can just go and show you how actually it's going to react to my test cases. In the Eclipse, there is nothing like PyCharm structure that you have to go on and make the configurations like that. You don't have to do anything. Just go on. I'm just deleting the existing projects. And I'll just will create one new project, file, new, others, pydev project. Now over here in Eclipse, what you need to do is whenever you are going to create the project, you just will give any name, like I'll give the name as the same that I have given in Eclipse, or sorry, in PyCharm, the same I'll give. And over here, I'll just will show that again. I just missed to inform. Yeah, over here you can see this interpreter option. This interpreter option is going to be very flexible if you have already given the path of Python into your environment variables also. If you have checked the checkbox while installation, right? So at that time, it's going to be automatically be picked up. You just need to click on this, click here to configure, and it will be configured automatically, and at the end click on next and finish. Okay, now in the batch, the same way in PyCharm, you had the options to create package, module and all. The same options you get over here as well. So I'll just will create a module directly instead of package, and I'll say my first code, let's say. And the same thing I'm going to do over here as well, which I am have done in the PyCharm. So uh, there's something wrong with the Eclipse. I'll wait for this to respond. Uh, so here is my module created. Inside this I'll write some code like print, and it's my first code. Now to run this particular module in Eclipse, it's very easy, no configuration need to make. Just click on this run button just below the Windows tab, and your console output you will be getting. Two options you will get. You just need to go for Python run and click on OK, and you will get the output on the console like this. Same way if you create another modules, the same click is going to be here, no different configuration, and output will be here only. Now it's totally up to you that whether you want to work with Eclipse or you want to work with PyCharm. In the course throughout we will be working with the PyCharm because it's quite better than Eclipse in many terms, which terms you will see in some time. Fine, now my two components are done. My Python is installed into the system. My IDE, both IDEs are there into the system. As I said, PyCharm is going to be used. So this will be used. The third thing that I need to install is Selenium itself. Now, installing Selenium is also very easy. It's not at all tough. Just need to look for your favorite browser, and over here you need to look for download Selenium. So you will get a number of options over here. The official website of Selenium from where you are going to get Selenium files is the selenium.dev site, and over here you will get, by default, if you don't look for downloads directly, it will take you to the home page. You just need to click on this downloads button, click, and then you will come to this page. Otherwise you can click on this link directly also, selenium.dev/downloads. Now to download Selenium for Python, what you need to do is, over here you will get a table like this, in which the stable versions according to the languages are given over here. Talking about Python, this is the section for Python. The stable version for Selenium is 3.1.141.0. How to get it into your system? Just click on this download link and it will give you a command. It's going to give you a command, that is pip install Selenium. This command you need to run on your command prompt. If you are using Mac, then I believe you use sudo or something you use. So that you need to use, and this going to be work fine. This same command you just need to go onto your command prompt or terminal, and over here this command. Now you need not to worry what this pip is. Do I have to install it or something like that? Not. In Python 3 and above versions, you get this pip by default into your Python package itself. It's just a package manager. By the help of this pip only, this package manager, you are going to install and uninstall outer packages which you need to use, but they are not in the package itself. Fine. So just need to click on this and it will start collecting the requirements and dependencies and will get your Selenium installed into your system. Right, this way. Now it's into my system, so it's saying requirement already satisfied, but otherwise it's going to install it into your system. Fine. Now if you have to see how many packages you have installed using the pip manager, the package manager that I'm talking about, so you just need to go on pip list. This is the command you need to look for, and this will list all the packages and things that you have installed using this particular manager. Now you can see over here, these are the packages that I have installed till now. Including this only, I have the Selenium package, and it itself has downloaded the latest version, that is Selenium 3.141.0. So it's the stable version. Automatically it got downloaded. I didn't have to do anything. I don't have to give any form, I don't have to give any version or something like that, nothing. Fine. Now it's done. After this, you can go to any of the ID which you want to work with, and you can just go on and create a module. I'll create module like this, third code, and over here I'll have to import my Selenium that I have just installed into my system. Now it's not allowing me to import it. Why so? Because in PyCharm, whenever I am using some external package, I have to get it into the PyCharm as well. From where I have to do that? Go to the file option, settings, and over here there are two things that you need to manage. First is the project, where your project is lying. The name of your project will come up over here, and the interpreter, Python interpreter, and this kind of screen you will be getting. Over here, by the click of this plus button, you can install the package whichever you want to use. Like I want to use Selenium right now, right? So I'll go and I'll just will search for Selenium, and I get it over here along with the details from where I have downloaded, and all the things are coming up over here with the description over here. I need to install it. I'll click on install, and the package will be available in my PyCharm IDE as well. You can see package Selenium installed successfully. Close this. After this, second thing that you need to correct is, whenever you are running the test cases, this I'm telling you for that time, but I'm covering it right now so that you can just do the changes and work freely with the project without worrying that you have changed the project or not. So by default, the test runner in PyCharm is unit test. We are going to work with the PyTest, not unit test, because PyTest has more features and improvised commands. So PyTest we are going to use. So just do this, apply, and OK. That's done. That's the setting you need to do. And you can see over here that we have got rid of the error that we were getting. Now I'm getting the warning just because this is not used. This Selenium is not used. So I have to use it. So I'll say print Selenium dot. Now I'm not going to execute any Selenium command or something like that. I'm just going to check the version of Selenium that is into my system. So I'll click on this. To run this, I have to create the configuration. So I'll run third code, and this is the version that I've get. Right, this way. Now, what are the things that you need to be careful about while working with the Selenium? That there should be no module or no package that should be named exactly the same as Selenium. Because what happens is that the PyCharm starts looking for the another package which is actually not the Selenium package, and it starts looking for the WebDriver commands in that package, which is just a general package having your own code. So don't name any of your module or package name as Selenium or not as the commands as well. Just give the names which are more convenient to remember for you, like I have given first code, third code, resemblance to that only. Fine. Now this is the way you can run this thing with. Okay. This is the thing that you need to be careful about in PyCharm, that you need to install the particular package and then work with it. In Eclipse, there is nothing like that. You can just go over your Eclipse, and over here you just need to import Selenium. I'll say print Selenium. The package comes up, press enter, and it will be imported into your code. Dot. Now these much options come in Eclipse. It gives you the file path, the versions and all, which are actually not required because these are just the general information about the Selenium package. What I need is the version. So if I run this, the error is gone. I run this, run as Python run, and here is the version of Python. Sorry, Selenium. Okay, so this is how you can get 3 of the main prerequisites into your system. Okay, any doubts or any questions regarding, you can just let me know. You can just unmute yourself and you can let me know. Uh, can you hear me? Yes. Is there any doubt from your end or any questions that you have? You can just let me know. Okay. So if so far so is good, then these are the things that I wanted to cover in the very first day. So I'll request you to do everything to get the prerequisite parts into your system so that we can start working with the Python, and along with that we can take Selenium. Okay, so thank you and I'll see you in the next class. Welcome.